Welcome to the Trade Traction Podcast, where we are all about helping you, the blue-collar apprentice, technician, and business owner, make the most profitable career in the trades. Welcome to the Trade Traction Podcast, where we talk about everything trades and apprenticeships. I'm Dennis, with over 25 years in the plumbing industry, a past owner of 2 multi-million-dollar service companies, and a passion for helping fellow tradies get production and productive in their trade. My guest today is Brian South. I met Brian at this year's SkillsUSA National Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. He works for McWane Incorporated, where they actually cast ductile iron pipes. Brian knows a lot about cast iron, so much so that he made me a fan. Stay tuned, and you will learn so much about cast iron pipe, you'll be glad you did. So now my friend, Brian South, from this year's SkillsUSA National Conference.
Brian, welcome to the Trade Traction Podcast here at SkillsUSA.
Happy to be here.
Is this fun or what?
This is a blast. I'm having such a good time. It's been incredible. Yeah.
Awesome. So what brings you here?
Yeah. So I'm a part of the PHCC committee. We're on the part of the plumbing group that's running that competition over there.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of high school and second year guys that are in there putting together a mock-up of a commercial building plumbing system. And it's honestly incredible to see. The quality of the work is really good. It's impressive.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought these were high schoolers.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's good work. It's really good.
Very cool. So you represent cast iron.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so I work for McWane Plumbing Group, which is kind of the umbrella company over AB&I Foundry, which is a cast iron brand, Tyler Pipe and Foundry, which is a cast iron brand as well, and then Anaco Husky, which is the couplings that puts all the cast iron together.
Okay.
Yeah, so drain, waste, and vent, storm, and sanitary.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how'd you discover like even Mike Rowe at the opening ceremony was talking about how SkillsUSA, so many people don't know about it. Mm-hmm. How did you discover SkillsUSA?
Yeah, I mean through work and and contacts. Basically, we try to support the next crop of installers. So we always want to support that and promote it. And and then I heard about it. It sounded awesome. It was a very easy sell to get me to come. And once I got here, it was everything I could hope for. And I've been having a great time.
Yeah. All right. Once you're here, is this like, holy cow, how did I not know?
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
I've been doing dentist apprentice work for 7 years. I built my business promoting apprentices and building apprentices. I had no idea SkillsUSA existed until last year.
Yeah.
It's like, what on earth?
I know. Yeah, it's great. And it just the breadth of all of the different professions and trades that are represented here that I would have never even thought of, is just is awesome.
Yeah. What's amazing to me is so many people say that the young people don't like work. Well, they're not looking in the right place.
I would disagree with that. I mean, you're always going to have some segment that's going to be looking for, I don't know, fast, easy money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, kind of blow up, get rich quick, whatever. But there's a lot of people out there, young people still, that understand the value of putting in a hard day's work. And I think that gets overlooked just because the get rich quick folks are the loudest, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard this referred to as the Olympics of the trades. Today, someone said, a tech said that this was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, they're comparing it to athleticism.
Yeah.
And it is athletic. And this is a team event. All the noise that you're hearing is these guys are they're framing, they're plumbing, they're electrifying.
Yeah.
They're doing some masonry and some work.
Yeah.
And they're working as a team.
Yeah.
Just like a soccer team.
I know. It's great. Yeah. Everyone has their role to fill. And, you can't, they all got to rely on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one can get their system in until the framers got the structure up and all that. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like that analogy though, the Olympics. That's a good one. Yeah. And yeah, it is. I like it.
It's the Olympics. I think it's the Olympics more than the Super Bowl because there's so many different trades.
Yeah.
Like the Olympics have all the different stuff, and so does skills. And skills, did you know there's a world's?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah. It's like there's regionals, then state, and then the worlds. What's cool about this is all these kids have won their state championships.
I know.
So there thousands and thousands of state champions here.
Yeah. We got 50 competitors Because just yeah, Justin Plumbing for that's representing every state in the country. Yeah.
Kids all have good paying jobs. They already have them, but that's waiting for them, right?
So a lot of them are high school kids right now.
Oh, yeah.
So and they might be working for a contractor.
Depends on the state.
It depends on the state, and but there are some second year guys who are all employed. And you'll see the name of the plumbing company on their pack out or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're from cast iron.
Yeah.
So we were talking, dispel some myths about cast iron. Cast iron is a fantastic product.
It is, yeah, extremely durable. It's gonna last the life of your building, and it's great for fire stopping purposes, like on commercial buildings. It's also the quiet pipe, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't have any issues when it comes to sound like it's great for sound attenuation. Keep your building quiet.
Right.
Got a good coefficient of thermal expansion match to your building, meaning it's going to grow and shrink with your building, so you don't need to worry about expansion joints as much. It's better underground. It's just a stronger, denser material that's going to last the life of your building for sure.
So I had a service, residential plumbing service company, and so I was in a lot of homes. And we didn't do that, but I heard a lot of people. I'd hear horror stories talking to other companies and homeowners that the plumber recommended tearing out the old cast iron stacks and be like, "Well, it might look old, but it's not old."
Yeah. I mean, so cast iron does. It's a quality of the material itself. It'll get that kind of rusty color on the surface.
Okay.
That's like a patina that forms. It's just it's an oxide layer that doesn't propagate through and cause catastrophic failure. So
it doesn't rust through like a galvanized pipe rusts through.
Right. Yeah. So it does the same thing as that's why the Statue of Liberty is green, right? You get that oxide layer on the surface. You don't want to take that off because then you keep eating through the material. You want to leave that there. So yeah, even if it looks a little rusty, that cast iron is still just fine.
Yeah. And it's basically silent.
It is. So there's two main reasons for that. I mean, yeah, definitely heavier and denser, right? And then every connection that you have, like pipe to pipe, pipe to fitting, has a rubber gasket, a damper in between.
Okay.
So the sound can't get out because it's too heavy and it can't propagate.
It can't travel.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why, any commercial building that you need to be quiet, so like a theater, a hotel is probably the one that people see the most just because their product is sleep. They need it to be quiet.
I love that analogy.
Yeah. So that's why hotels are quiet, because almost in all cases they're cast iron. If they're a plastic hotel, you will know it because you're not going to sleep a wink, because you're going to hear water flowing and toilets flushing and all that kind of stuff. So,
And you can hear the solids in the pipe too.
yeah. It's not the best mental imagery.
I was telling you, I had a job. This lady had a brand new house, and she had tea parties every week in her dining room, and she would always go up to her master bedroom up above to be discreet.
Yeah.
And then I think it was her daughter was home from school. And then she heard what she sounded like.
Yeah.
And she was horrified.
Yeah.
So we took out a brand new house. We opened up the dining room walls and put in cast iron and solved that problem for her.
Yeah.
So
there's another example of that is in some hospitals where the hospital has gone plastic, right?
Okay.
And doctors in their surgery rooms are literally like, I can't concentrate in here. Like this patient's life is in my hands, and all I hear is the laundry, dumping, cascading through the walls. It's like we got to change this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sound really, really matters.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you're a plumber, you can give options on a rough in, and you can offer cast iron. It's a better product.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And whatever savings you think you might be capturing just like on the material, it's going to bite you in the end. Another example is you got to use more hangers in general with plastic versus cast iron, because it's not as strong.
Okay.
And the fire stopping is a huge one, right? So because when you got a firewall penetration, your cast iron is going to hold the shape in a fire scenario.
Yeah.
It's not going to melt and collapse into goo.
Yeah.
So you don't need to put intumescent collars and do all this extra fire stopping, which is going to blow your budget. So yeah, that's the thing we always try to stress is you may be saving some money on the material up front, but you're going to wind up paying for it in the back end with the fire stopping and to keep your building safe. Yeah.
You would think plastic was fast too.
Yeah, it's just and that's what we try to do. We try to educate, and like my team, the technical team for McWane Plumbing Group, we just try to educate and let people make the decisions for themselves. Like you said, there is a place for plastic and there's a place for cast iron, and you got to let your designers and your installers make those decisions. So
If you make people aware of what's available to them, they will choose what's best for them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they need to be fully informed. So yeah, absolutely.
But anything else about cast iron? I feel like there's one more thing you said that we're forgetting. The cool that's about cast iron is it's quiet. Fires.
Was it how you cut it?
Yes.
Talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, you were asking me about snap cutting and and how that happens, and it kind of breaks apart. And the analogy that I use to help explain it to people is there's two main types of ways that metal breaks.
Okay.
There's ductile fracture and brittle fracture, right? So brittle fracture is it's kind of like a dry piece of spaghetti, right? So you bend it, it'll bend to a little bit and then it'll break, right? Whereas and glass basically does the same thing. You create a weak point, right? Like when you score it and it'll break.
Yep.
That's the same mechanic that happens with cast iron. Okay. Cast iron's is obviously stronger than glass or spaghetti, but you get the idea, right?
Yes.
And that's opposed to ductile, which is where it will actually bend and yield. That's more like a paper cliff, like bend on a paper cliff, right? So you're taking advantage of that when you snap cut. So you actually have a chain that has wedges that are driven into the iron. And it scores in it. Yeah, it scores it. Yeah, exactly. Just like glass, right? Same word. And we score it, to create that weak point, and then that changes boa constrictors down and pops that cast iron apart. It's cool.
The first time I saw that, that piece of pipe just flew across the floor.
Yeah, it does. It's like explosively, for lack of a better term. That's so
very interesting.
Yeah. So again, part of the education is, you tell folks like you got to block it. Just putting a hammer in the end of the part you're cutting off can do wonders to kind of keep it under control. But
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, you can chop saw it too, just old school, abrasive grinder or whatever. And then a Sawzall. I don't recommend a Sawzall because cast iron's really tough.
Yeah.
It'll take you forever and it's hell in your hands and but it's but that's the snap cutting process.
Okay. Then also in cast iron, I've seen like in a restaurant, I saw like the bottom of it rotted out. What caused that?
Like in a restaurant?
In a restaurant.
Yeah. So in a restaurant or a scenario, one of the big culprits that we always see is things that get outside of the normal kind of pH range that cast iron likes. And really it's the low end on the acid side. Okay. And the culprit almost, in most cases in a restaurant is going to be your soda, Coca-Cola.
Okay.
That's a pH of like 2 to 3. You got soda lines and it just drips like all day long in the bottom of the cast iron and it doesn't get washed away.
Okay.
And that's usually what causes the issue is that you've got those really low pH liquids, solids, whatever that will tend to corrode the cast iron. Okay. So we actually have a new product to mitigate that.
I've heard about that. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's an epoxy-coated cast iron now. So that's a new thing that we're doing. It's called DuraPipe.
Okay.
And it's a two-part epoxy that just mitigates that chemistry issue I was talking about.
Okay.
Right, for what we call aggressive applications. So the soda line is a perfect example of that.
Okay.
Mop sink basins, storm drains where like I live in Denver and there's they got mag chloride all over the place, salts and chlorides. That's going to, typically eat your black cast iron.
Yeah.
The DuraPipe will hold up to that without a problem. So it's
awesome.
Yeah, I will say that it's not meant for special waste or chemical waste, right? I don't want to give that impression, but for, that aggressive stuff where you need better peace of mind, that's where your DuraPipe comes in. But yeah.
So can you still buy both?
Yeah. So we've got both the black cast iron, which is, that is good for, most all applications, right? It's really only for specific areas where you may be having trouble. So, low flow fixture bathroom groups is another one.
That urinals and stuff.
Yeah. So the waterless urinals.
Right.
So I'll try to put this politely, but what happens is when you've got really low flow toilets, waterless urinals, you don't have enough water to carry the waste out of the building.
Yes. Okay.
So what happens is the waste stays in the walls.
Yes.
And your sanitary system becomes a septic system inside your building.
Yes. I wonder why it smells.
Yeah. So then H2S gas gets released. that condenses, combines with oxygen, makes sulfuric acid, and that's actually what eats at the cast iron, because that's outside that's in that low pH range.
Right.
So
It was all designed for that water to carry that all away.
exactly.
And
Yep.
if we left it that way, everything would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why cast iron historically has been just, bulletproof. It's been so reliable for us for so long.
Yeah.
It's really only in like the last, decade where all of a sudden it's like we have these premature failures and it's like, what the hell? And then you look back and you go, oh yeah, we flipped over to low flow and then now stuff's failing. So anyway, we had to respond, and that's where the DuraPipe comes in. But again, it's only for those special need cases where you've got low flow fixtures, battering through it. Any of that kind of stuff.
Right. Now, could cast iron be relined like a sewer?
You can. You can do that. There are companies out there that do relining. That's not something that we do or promote really. But yeah, that is a technology that's out there. I think there's a variety of standards that are being written right now to kind of, wrap their head around it. Because I don't think there's not a lot of, I don't know how you put it. I don't know, guardrails maybe at the time. So it's kind of the Wild West.
So I was just gonna say that. It's still the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, but I think that's coming. But yeah, until it's better understood and maybe more established. So
Very good.
Yep.
So if I always ask everybody, if you could do life over again, knowing what you know now, what would you do a little bit different?
I think for me, I think it would be to not wait, to not be afraid. Don't hesitate to take a risk or a challenge, right? I think that was one thing that I didn't learn until I guess later in life, right? The thing I guess that I figured out is, everyone's had that time where it's like, say you want to go talk to the pretty girl at the bar, or whatever, right? And you're kind of, you're thinking about it, and maybe you chicken out and you go home or whatever, right? And then you're thinking like, oh man, I wonder if I talked to her, maybe she would have been really cool, and but you'll never know because you never took the risk, right? Whereas if you go and talk to her, maybe you get shot down. Well, then you got an answer at least. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in my head, when I figured this out probably in my 30s, is like, you need to take the lead, take the chance, go for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
You'll end up back where you were, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, so that, I think for me, that was kind of a big life lesson. And I've done that. I've taken, risks, I've, changed jobs, changed industries, changed states and all, and it has worked out every time, you can't be completely reckless about it, but you gotta, we only get one shot at life, right?
Yeah.
And take the opportunity to make the most of it, I guess, would be my advice.
And maybe for me in that same angle, it'd be like, don't fret so much, just do it and figure it out. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Because we can't possibly foresee
everything's
I think
gonna happen.
I'm always trying to figure out what's the pluses and minuses. And well, just do it and you'll find out what the pluses and minuses are for say it. And even if you take 10 years to figure it out, you will never come up with the plus and minus.
Right.
Miss it.
Right.
You'll miss some.
Right.
Until you do it.
Yeah. Like, come to the analysis paralysis, right? Yeah. And just to build on that a little bit, I think that having confidence in yourself and your capabilities, that it doesn't matter what could happen or if every detail's worked out, because I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'll figure it out. I've confidence in my ability. So yeah, there's a little bit of that too. But yeah, man, it's you got to make the most of this beautiful thing we have.
I think this whole championship, all these kids coming down here, whether they win or lose, there's really no losers here. They're all champions already. But by putting themselves out there, it's a reference point, right? And they'll always look back on this and remember they got this far and they can do it again.
Yeah, and it's only going to help them. It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. That's another, I guess, principle, right? Is like, as long as you learn something, it's not really a mistake. Because you took something away from it, you're better now for it. It may have felt like you crashed and burned or, I don't know, got last place or whatever, but you know what? You learned, you matured, you're going to be better next time.
Yeah.
And that's a win. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do it again next year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Appreciate it. Show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got it.
All right.
Well, that's a wrap. I hope you're inspired to use more cast iron and get involved promoting the trades to youngsters and parents alike, and even get involved with SkillsUSA in your state. I promise you'll be inspired.